There's a truth in FNAF no one has ever faced. A fracture in the story so deep it could collapse everything. The timeline, the motives, even the missing children incident. And with FNAF 2, that fracture isn't hiding anymore. This isn't just an adaptation, it's a full-on rewrite. The real story? Darker, more human, more tragic than anything we've theorized. Are you ready to see it? For over 10 years, FNAF lore has obsessed the community. Minigames, cryptic calls, hidden messages, a puzzle no one has fully solved. At the heart of it all, the missing children incident, the origin, the spark, the event that started everything. But the FNAF 2 movie, December 5th, 2025, isn't just retelling the story, it's rewriting it, shaking everything we thought we knew. Today, Dream Better dives into what might be the biggest retcon in FNAF history. Not a tweak, a full revelation. Buckle up, because this could change everything you think you know about FNAF. Okay, so let's quickly recap the story as we, the theorists, painstakingly built it. The game theory version, the one we've all more or less accepted, was pieced together from the digital breadcrumbs Scott Cawthon left us. The prevailing theory is that the missing children incident, or MCI, involved 5 kids being lured into a safe room at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. There, they were murdered by William Afton, hidden inside his spring Bonnie suit. We figured this out from grainy 8-bit minigames. Remember the Foxy Go 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 game? Foxy runs out to a room of kids, but on the 3rd run, they're gone, and a purple figure, Afton, is smiling in the corner. Or the Save Them minigame from FNAF 2, where you follow the puppet through a pizzeria littered with the bodies of dead children. These were our clues. The spirits of these 5 kids, full of agony, latched onto the animatronics. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and the mysterious Golden Freddy, possessed by a child many believe is named Cassidy. The puppet, possessed by Henry Emily's daughter, Charlotte, was seen as the one who gave life to the others. But the exact sequence of events was always a mess. Was it one incident? Were there multiple murder sprees? The games were deliberately vague, creating a decade of confusion that we all just had to live with. It was a story told in shadows, until now. Enter the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. Dropping on December 5th, 2025, this film isn't just a sequel, it seems to be a narrative bulldozer. Where the games were cryptic, the movie looks like it's aiming for clarity. The official synopsis says that 1 year after the first film, the events at Freddy's have become a campy local legend, even inspiring a FazFest celebration in town. This sets the stage for a story that isn't just about the horror, but how the world processed it, or tried to forget it. And here is the most crucial distinction. The film is a direct sequel to the first movie's timeline, not a prequel like the FNAF 2 game. This means we're moving forward with Mike, Abby, and a recovering Vanessa, but we might be looking back at the past with a brand new lens. And it's through that lens that the missing children incident could be completely reframed. The movie doesn't seem to be just filling in gaps. It looks like it's restructuring the entire sequence of events we held as gospel. This is where things get interesting, where we break down the old theories and look at how the movie might be replacing them with something more direct. First, the order of death. For years, we've debated if Emily, Henry's daughter, the puppet, died before or after the main 5 missing children. The FNAF 2 movie seems poised to end that debate for good. Theories and potential leaks all point to the film establishing Charlie's death as the first tragedy, the event that precedes the MCI. If this is true, it puts the puppet's role in a new, more powerful context. She isn't just another victim, she's Patient Zero, the original source of the animatronic's rage. Second, let's talk Henry Emily. In the games, Henry is a ghost, a voice on a tape, a man whose story is told after his death. The film looks to be flipping that script entirely. Skeet Ulrich is confirmed in the cast, and while his role was kept under wraps, it's now been reported he will play Henry Emily. And he's alive. Sources suggest he'll be an active character providing exposition to Mike about Afton's dark past. This is a monumental shift. Instead of deciphering 8-bit sprites, we might just have the co-founder of Fazbear Entertainment, tell us what happened. Third, there are some terrifying new layers being theorized for Vanessa's backstory. The first movie already made her Afton's daughter. The sequel seems to be doubling down with a sickening psychological twist. Rumors and theories suggest the film might imply that William Afton gave his daughter, Vanessa, gifts taken from the children he murdered. This would add a horrifying dimension to her character, suggesting she was an unwitting participant in his atrocities from childhood. And fourth, the question of Michael. In the games, we theorized that Mike Schmidt was really Michael Afton. The movie established them as separate people. Now the sequel is introducing a new character named Michael, played by Freddy Carter, described as a young man with a peculiar interest in the Freddy's legend. The massive theory? This is Michael Afton. With his father missing after the first film, he could be stepping in to continue Afton's work, creating a new human antagonist. This could also explain the withered animatronics. What if he's the one who moves the original animatronics, causing them to fall into disrepair? It's a huge what if, but it's on the table. Okay, let's pause. We are talking about potentially rewriting the Afton family tree and the entire timeline of events. The movie seems to be giving us clearer motives, a more linear story, and deeper psychological horror. It's a lot to process, and if your mind is spinning just as much as mine is, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're going to be breaking down every detail as we get closer to the release, and you won't want to miss where this new timeline could lead. So if we take all these theories and leaks as a blueprint, what does the new timeline look like? This isn't confirmed, but it's the story the film universe seems to be building. It all starts with Charlie Emily. Murdered by William Afton, her spirit possesses the puppet. She is Patient Zero, and her death is the original sin of the Fazbear franchise. Next, William Afton commits the missing children incident, murdering 5 more children. Their spirits, possibly guided by the now sentient puppet, possess the original 5 animatronics: Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy. Years later, the first film happens. Mike Schmidt, whose brother Garrett was one of Afton's victims, uncovers the truth, and Afton is defeated. Or so we thought.
I always come back.
Now, in the FNAF 2 movie, Afton's legacy may continue through his son, Michael Afton, while the town turns the tragedy into a twisted Faz Fest. The conflict gets reignited when Abby, Mike's sister, is lured back to the pizzeria, her connection to the ghost children reawakening the nightmare. Why would this version make more sense? It prioritizes emotional stakes over cryptic puzzles. The game's narrative was a puzzle box. The movie's narrative is shaping up to be a Greek tragedy about intertwined family trauma, the Aftons, the Emilys, and the Schmidts. By making Henry a living character, the story gets an anchor of grief and authority. It's not just about jump scares anymore. It's about generational trauma. So what would all this mean for the future of the Five Nights at Freddy's cinematic universe? It means the films are forging their own, clearer path. Director Emma Tammy and Scott Cawthon seem to be using the movies to tell a single, cohesive story from beginning to end. They're taking the core concepts we love and building a stronger, more emotionally resonant framework around them. This approach has huge implications. For one, it makes the lore accessible. New fans won't need a 4-hour video essay to get the gist. But for us, the longtime fans, it offers the potential for real, definitive answers to questions we've debated for a decade. This also sets up a fascinating path for a third film. If the second movie is a direct sequel, a hypothetical FNAF 3 movie wouldn't be about Fazbear's Fright. It would follow the direct fallout from this film. It could be the final confrontation between the Schmidt family and the Afton legacy. Will Michael Afton become the new big bad? Will William Afton return as Springtrap, the true monster we've been waiting for? The films are no longer just adapting the lore. It seems they are actively refining it. For years, the story of Five Nights at Freddy's was a massive group project. One creator dropping clues and millions of fans turning those crumbs into theories. Some brilliant, some wild, all unforgettable. But now it feels like the architect himself is finally revealing the real blueprint. With FNAF 2, we're not just solving a puzzle anymore. We might be witnessing the lore evolve into a true tragedy, clearer, deeper, and driven by its characters in a way the game's never fully achieved. If the hints are right, this film could rebuild the timeline, fill in the gray areas, and raise the emotional stakes far beyond what we've seen before. Our old theories served their purpose. They kept us thinking, debating, surviving the night. But a new era is rising in the FNAF universe. Sharper, darker, and maybe the most compelling one yet. So tell me, are you ready to follow this new version of the story? Or will you miss the chaotic mystery of the old games? Drop your theories in the comments. I'm reading everything. The timeline has changed. Now the real question is, are you ready for what comes next? I'll see you down there.